Okay, we are live. And I haven't announced this or I haven't advertised it. But I shall explain why momentarily. But in the meantime, hopefully we'll get one or two people joining us and I will be explaining what's going on. First and foremost, if I haven't spoken to you beforehand, Happy New Year. I know we're, like 15 days in and everything, but if I haven't said it to you already, Happy New Year. All the very best to you. Andrew English is saying hello. Hello from London. Hello, Andrew. Good to have you joining us along. We've got one or two people who are joining along. Probably surprised that this proof of life is happening. But safe to say it's been interesting. Biologically, physiology, psychologically, spiritually. Yeah, it's been interesting. We'll crack on in about a minute or so. And we'll talk about what we've got planned, what has been happening over the last 2-3 weeks. Hopefully your new year went well. Hopefully your festive season was well. Hang on, what's this? Andrew English, proof of life. It's Caroline with a soundboard. Possibly. What? Proof of life. It's Caroline with a soundboard. Yeah.
No, I just burnt myself.
And Caroline's just burnt herself. So there we go. Ow. Will you behave?
Sorry.
Stop burning yourself, woman. You're ill enough as it is.
No.
Good Lord. So Into the Blue Mister says hello. Merry New Year.
Merry New Year.
Yeah. Hola from San Diego, from our neighbours. Hello there. Welcome along. What time are we at? I think we're there. So let's do this. Let's crack on and explain what the hell has been happening. Right. Hello. Welcome along to Talking Con, a cup of tea with Englishman San Diego. You want to say hello real quick? I'll hold on to stuff. You just say hi.
Hi.
Yes. That's Caroline. She's not well. She is definitely under the weather. As has my brother. My brother has been ill to the point where he spent New Year's Eve in first A&E in Dewsbury and then in Pinderfields Hospital here in Yorkshire, which is the big main Yorkshire hospital in this area. So it gives you a sense that he was out for the count for a while. He was looking very, very unwell on the couple of days prior to New Year's and then over the course of New Year. For myself, I've had first up a chest infection and then gastroenteritis. So that was an entertaining 36 hours with all sorts of symptoms and things happening to my body, which I don't particularly want to describe, or I don't think you want me to describe either. So there we go. But the main issue, and Andrew English is asking what happened to the office. Why am I not upstairs in the office? Well, the office is on the same floor and directly over from my father's room. Just to give you an idea, explain the living situation here. I live in a ground floor, first floor, attic floor. So 3 floors, house with my father. Myself and Caroline, we live up in the attic at the moment. My father has his room in the house. We have lived together for some time, mostly out of financial constraints, but also just kind of to keep each other company, as it were. And certainly when it comes to my father, who would be living on his own. My father did have a chest infection around the same time as all of us did, around Christmas time. And it has hit him particularly hard, to the point where he is currently not in a great space physically and mentally. very much similar to the way he was when he was completely knocked sideways, suffering from COVID back in March 2020. That's the closest I can sum up to however he is at the moment. Am I going to get visited by the cat here? I think I probably am. I've got a visit from Buzz. Oh no, he's sorted himself out. Okay. So, generally, when he did suffer from COVID, he was bedridden. I mean, he was close to being intubated through COVID as was. Took him to hospital several times. He was incredibly close to being intubated, to which point he was returned home, didn't eat, didn't sleep, very uncomfortable, muscle loss, the works. He was in a very, very, very bad way. It has taken a long time for us to get back to some kind of physical strength and normality with my father, at which point we have now had this illness and this chest infection and various other elements, which has just completely knocked him for six. Like I say, physically and mentally, to the point where he is currently bedridden. And he is, at the moment, it's myself, my wife is Caroline, and my brother, Paul. We're all kind of coming together, trying to give him some sense of routine, trying to give him as many calories as we can through some shakes and whatever. I don't want to get really bogged down into this, but safe to say we are not in a great place here in the house at this time. This has not been a fantastic start to our year. That being said, I do want to continue with Talking Con. I do want to get back to putting the show out and spreading the word and cracking on and basically barreling through to July 2023 at San Diego Comic-Con. And that is the plan. And that is the intention. Still want to bring you some great guests. Still want to bring you some live reports. Of course, WonderCon, not that far away. Excuse me, just remnant from said cold. There you go. Sort myself out. There we go. We are wanting to bring you some live reports from WonderCon. I still want to keep being some kind of conduit for you as fans of conventions. That's the plan. So we've got everything from WonderCon, Star Wars Celebration, which I have tickets for. Intention to go to that. Wales Comic Con. Apparently, I have an open invitation still to attend that and host at that one. Yeah, it's a case of getting the brain back in gear and kind of juggling all things at all times. Okay. All of that being said, I am still trying to plan episodes and get things up and running and get Talking Con back up and running for 2023. So we do have some guests on the way. So just a little bit of a heads up. Next week on the Sunday, on January 22nd, we are going to be talking to a creative called Leonard Moore. Who is somebody who I have started talking to and meeting on my new social media home. I know this is broadcasting to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch, and it is still broadcasting to Twitter, even though I do not go to Twitter anymore. And I'm going to say it's actually, if it wasn't just for the other elements which I need to kind of switch my brain about, it's one of the best things I've done to get off Twitter, because it was just turning into too much of a toxic situation generated by the algorithm. For as much comic content I was jamming into my timeline by the people I follow, Twitter itself was trying to generate non-comics and just all sorts of pish and bile. And it was still trying to throw it into my timeline. So getting off Twitter has been one of the best things I've done for a while. So if you've not seen me or communicated with me on Twitter, well, that's the reason why. I've just been sharing San Diego Comic-Con news, some convention updates, and also cross-posting from the Convention Collective. That being said, where I am living at the moment is Hive. I go to Hive and I go to Mastodon, but Hive is my main place I go to on a morning now. I just click onto there and go through Hive. Yes, it's quiet. Yes, it isn't as populated as everywhere else, but it's got a real positive vibe to it, a real optimism, which I really am kind of very much enjoying. And one of the comic creators that I came across was Leonard Sultana, who is doing a Kickstarter. It's launching very soon indeed for a book called Torrent. She's been sharing pages for it on Hive, and to be fair, it looks very impressive indeed. And it's been great that I've been able to message her on Hive and say, would you be willing to come on and talk to us about the show, talk to us about the book? And that's exactly what she said she can do. So on Sunday, January 22nd, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, we are going to be talking to Leonard Sultana. So very much looking forward to that. Right. Prior to that, the first official show back is not going to be on this Sunday. It's going to be this Thursday, actually. Thursday, 19th of Jan. Okay, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. We're going to be talking to Scott Snyder. Now, I know that I've said that we're going to be speaking to Scott a couple of times, down to his own issues, which, quite frankly, also kind of measure up to mine. Health issues with his kids, his house being flooded. He's been through the wars this festive season. So fair play to Scott Snyder for still being able to generate scripts and get books out there and still do what he does as Scott Snyder. But as it happens, he's got a book that's due. Yeah, I got this one. Hello there. Chuck, I could never quite get the hang of Thursdays. I got the reference. I see what you said there. But yeah, for example, he's got a book which he's shared with me. He shared me issue 2. He said that he was going to share issue 1 with me. He's got to get that through to me so I can read it. So I don't want to read it out of order. But he's doing a book with Comixology Originals called Book of Evil with Jock, which, frankly, from the couple of pages which I've glanced through, looks incredible. But Scott has got so much on his plate, not only with the stuff he's doing with Comixology, but also his own stuff with Best Jacket Press, the things that he's doing for, the other big publishers. The man is a busy boy. So it's going to be a pleasure to talk to Scott. We are going to be speaking this Thursday, 19th of January, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. The idea was we were either going to just record it and live stream it on the Sunday, but I thought, you know what, that's going to be our first episode back for 2023. That's this Thursday. Then we've got the Sunday episode with Leonard Sultana, and then hopefully the week after, but we're kind of narrowing down dates for this one. We're going to be talking to Chris and Eric from Global Comics. This is a enterprise which is really going out of its way to bring exciting talent to a new audience in a new way. Global Comics is definitely kind of branching out into a real online presence when it comes to getting comics out there in 2023. It's definitely feels like a modern comic house. So very much looking forward to talking to Chris and Eric from Global Comics. Hopefully that's going to happen on July 29th. Yes, 29th. Yeah, that's what we got sorted. So while we have 2 weeks left of January 2023, we've got 3 shows to come. This Thursday, 19th of January, Scott Snyder talking so much stuff. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, if anything, because like Into the Bloom, it says, can't go wrong with the Scott Snyder Jock combo, which is an all-time favorite. It is. So yeah, I'll be definitely talking about witches as well, but mostly a case of, okay, why is there not more witches? Weren't we supposed to be getting more witches? Where's our witches? He's got so much stuff to do at the moment. I can understand he's a little all over the place. Leonard Sultana on Sunday the 22nd, talking about her Kickstarter called Torrent. Do search for Leonie Moore, Leonie Moore. That's on Hive. You can also find me there as well, Englishman SDCC. And then hopefully the week after, we're going to be talking to Chris and Eric from Global Comics. Those are our guest list for now. If you have always got any suggestions for people that you would like us to talk to, we'll do our best to reach them, pester them, and get them on the show. So please do let them know and let us know who you would like to see on this show. Then, of course, I think as we get into February, we're going to wind ourselves up for WonderCon, which is shaping up to be a very nice show indeed. Some great guests have been announced so far, which we can talk about on Sunday's show, as we hopefully will get some more information about WonderCon next weekend. But yeah, looking forward to all of that. It's going to be fun. Toby is joining us. Hello, Leonard. Oh, can't stay. Just wanted to pop in and say howdy to you, Toby. It's good to have you here. And indeed, Chuck Cook is saying hello and just basically piping in as well. So there you go. And what have we got here? Andrew English. I'm about to book for Liverpool Comic Con now that Avanti have started to populate the weekend slots. So yeah, okay. It's all about getting stuff booked. I am a gnat's testy away from booking my flights for San Diego, as they are steadily creeping down to a nice price as we get into a little bit of the January sale kind of thing. They're not going crazy just yet. So no, hopefully the flights are going to stay at a reasonable price, and that's going to happen over the next couple of days. Pull the trigger and get my flights booked for San Diego. Then it really is a case of planning for July. Hopefully as well, I'll be back upstairs in the office. Hopefully we'll have Dad a little bit more awake at that point and try and get some more energy into him. I mean, I really appreciate the kind words from Into the Blue Mister. As much as I love your podcast and episode, family and health comes first. Your friends and fans will still be here when you've got things sorted. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the kind words. Sarita P is jumping in as well. Hello all. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Sarita. Once again, if you are watching this, I haven't said hello and wished you a happy new year so far. Hope 2023 for you is going a damn sight better than it is for me. I can only afford one USA con this year. Going to try for New York Comic Con. Andrew, it's a good call. It's a great show. From all I'd like to attend. Who knows if I can? I'd love to. I really would. Who knows what's going to happen between now and next week? Yeah, that's exactly where my life is and where my head is at the moment. I can't really plan more than 2 days in advance. It's all over the shop, really. That's where we are. I mean, look at me. I'm a little bit of a mess, as you can tell. Hopefully, I'll be in a little bit more of a recovered state. Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. Hopefully you can join us for Talking Con, a cup of tea with Englishman in San Diego, because we are going to be talking to the one and only Scott Snyder about everything and anything. And of course, your questions as well. So if you want to dive in, jump into the Q&A. It's all about you, of course, this show. I'm merely a conduit for you and your questions. So if you've got anything you've got to put to Scott Snyder, something that's been a driving thought in your head that you want to kind of put to him, please do let us know. Into the Blue Mister, being a Welsh lad, I'm off to Newport Comic Fair in 2 weeks, Swansea Comic Con and Lawless in May, and rumour has it there's a new Cardiff Comic Con in October. Yeah, I've heard rumblings about that one as well. Yeah, if you hear any more about that, do let us know. Be very curious to hear about that new Cardiff Comic Con. But certainly in Lawless, I'd love, well, I've been told that there's a standing invitation for me to go and panel host again at that one. So fingers crossed. I'm now going to curl into a small ball and cry for a bit. It's definitely that kind of vibe for me at the moment. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in for this small little update. And thank you very much indeed for all the kind words. I know that if you are watching this on Twitter at the moment, you might be confused about why I'm back a bit on this. But yes, when I do the Talking Con shows, I will live stream them to Twitter. Just don't expect too much follow-up. Do spread the word. Share the tweet. By all means, retweet it left, right, and center. But if you do want to find me, if you want to find me on social media, if you go to Hive or the Hive Social, if you go to Hive and search for Englishman SDCC, that's where you'll find me. Trying to be a little bit more optimistic, sharing as much as I possibly can when it comes to the comic stuff, and generally leading a slightly less stressful life than I have in previous years. If that makes sense. What's this? Aaron Neighbors is saying, sending you positive vibes, brother. Aaron, thank you very much indeed. Toby, looking knackered, dude, get some sleep. I wish. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Andrew English, Cardiff Comic Con will be added to my bucket list. Yeah, I mean, heaven knows it'll be just down the road. Perfect. Get in there. And Chuck Cook, lots of love to you, Leonard, and to Caroline, and best hopes for your dad. Yeah, we've got several doctor's appointments over the course of the next 2 weeks. Let's hopefully get some answers, and frankly put, let's hopefully get him out of bed. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Okay. Thanks for watching. Do take care, and hopefully we'll see you Thursday. Please join us for Scott Snyder, and then on Sunday with Leonie Moore talking about her Kickstarter, which I'll try and share a little bit more information about if you kind of follow me around. Okay. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.